The NBA season is underway. I cannot wait. This is the most anticipated NBA season in recent memory. And boy, it's going to be great. They're starting off with a bang, too. You got the Los Angeles Lakers against the Los Angeles Clippers tomorrow night for the first game of the season. Actually, that's the second game. The first game is New Orleans at Toronto. And Rob, a big damper has been put in that game.
Man, Chris.
To say the least, right?
If you're a New Orleans fan, it's not like it's the end of the world, but 6 to 8 weeks?
Well, Zion Williamson had knee surgery today. Arthroscopic knee surgery that's going to repair a torn meniscus on his right knee, and he's expected to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. And, Rob, you said it. I mean, this is a blow not only to the Pelicans, mainly to the Pelicans, because obviously they're the team that is paying Zion and the team that is going to be built around him. But even to the NBA, they had the Pelicans, on national TV all throughout the year, and hopefully he'll be healthy and able to play after these 6 to 8 weeks. But they were on 2 days this week. National television.
Oh no, he was going to be
Friday.
He was that guy. He was going to be the new hotness of the NBA, right? The Pelicans. People were they went from no one was interested in watching them to they were going to be on national. Right.
Davis.
They were going to be on national and Boogie Cousins.
Right.
Nobody bought into that,
and
now this guy who was a top pick and was a big draw in college basketball and got the shoe deal, all the other stuff that's going on, and boom, he's out 6 to 8 weeks. It stinks.
Yeah, it really does. And he was fun to watch. And look, I still think, for one, still think the New Orleans Pelicans are going to be fun to watch. I want to see what Lonzo Ball becomes in Alvin Gentry's offense. I want to see what Brandon Ingram becomes in Alvin Gentry's offense. Drew Holiday is still there. Derek Favors is there. Like, they still should be pretty decent. And then you put Zion in there, and hopefully they'll take off.
But the only problem is playing in the West. And you're right, decent. But I still don't know how many games they're going to be able to win when you look at all the teams. Like, some people are like, oh, they can make they can't make the playoffs. Somebody big time would have to fall totally out of it.
The Spurs would be, I guess, the Spurs or the Warriors,
right? Because
of the Warriors' injury to Klay Thompson.
Those would be right.
Would be the biggest, teams you think might fall out.
Because when you look at it, to me, basically OKC's falling out and the Lakers are falling in.
Right.
That's really the way I look at the top 8 teams in the West. Right.
I agree. And you look at the Spurs. They obviously have LaMarcus Aldridge. They got DeMar DeRozan. And people love DeJounte Murray. They just signed into a big contract extension. So
yes.
They probably aren't going anywhere. And the Warriors, it's going to be interesting. I think their defense is going to struggle. I think D'Angelo Russell will fit in well, but I don't know how consistent he'll be as that second scorer. And Steph, it's going to be interesting because defenses are going to be geared towards stopping him. But he'll probably put up big numbers. But will they win a lot of games?
But will they win?
Right.
That's the big thing. I agree with you. I'm not so sure. I think people are poo-pooing Klay Thompson.
I like him with Klay. With Klay, I give him a shot to be a top team in the West.
Not nearly as much.
No, not without him. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But, yeah, Zion, so he's out. The question is this, Rob. This is the third knee injury, not only twice on the right knee, but the third injury since late February, about 8 months. When, remember, he blew out his sneaker and hurt his right knee.
Sneakergate, you remember that?
Right. And then in the Summer League, he only played a half and sat out the rest of the Summer League with knee soreness, his left knee that time. And then, of course, he tears his meniscus against San Antonio in a preseason game. Look, it's not the end of the world. Blake Griffin was out his rookie year with the
missed the entire year, and
Joel Embiid
he still should have won the Rookie of the Year because he didn't play at all.
Right? Yeah.
Remember that?
Year.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right? He didn't play,
and so it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, he's back and as good as ever. I do think this though, Rob, and I think he will do it, but he needs to get rid of the baby fat.
You think so? You think that
I don't
possible?
know if I'm not a doctor, obviously, so I don't know if that's a factor, but carrying around that extra weight, and if it's baby fat, that's exactly what it is, extra weight.
And now once you're a big-time millionaire, ball player with a lot of money, you could eat right.
Right.
There's plenty.
I would eat so right.
Right. You would have somebody making meals. Right.
Yep.
They would cook for you. You could have a personal instructor and whatnot help you and do everything that you need done, right?
Yep.
Working out. You could have a personal trainer.
Yep.
You could have all that stuff. That's why you see some of these people like big-time stars. They look great all the time.
LeBron James
right?
puts $1.5 million into his body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why he's in his 17th year.
Legally or illegally?
Arguably the best player. Look at you. Look at you. Arguably the best player in the world still. And there's a reason for it. So I think Zion, seems like a great kid. He'll do the right thing. But you just hope that he is not dogged, not throughout his career, but just even throughout his rookie season by these injuries.
Yeah.
Or even his first few years. You hope that's not an issue.
When I heard that it was going to be 60, I was stunned. I really didn't think it was that kind of thing. And then, obviously, the surgery. So they're not playing around. It was serious damage. And got to take care of it.
Yeah, yeah. But to your point about the Pelicans, I actually look back at that team over the last 5 or 6 years, and I think they've had talent. Look, they've had Rajon Rondo, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, Eric Gordon.
They swept Portland, who went to the Western Conference Final the year before. They swept them in four games in that series.
Nick Mirotic. I mean, they have had talent, but it's been banged up. It's been injured. And that was really their downfall. And so you hope that, that isn't the case going forward for them. But this is a blow. It's a blow to the NBA. They want him to be the heir apparent.
No. I remember this when I was covering the league, when Shaq came into the league. It was the same exact thing. They were pushing Shaq.
Yep.
And the big problem, if you remember, Chris, early on, was Orlando wasn't making the playoffs. So the big guy, the first couple of years, wasn't in the playoffs, wasn't in that kind of action. So it was kind of weird. They were making a literally pushing Shaq, but it didn't pan out until they actually started making the playoffs. And then before you know it,
they're in the
finals. Couple of Nick Anderson free throws, and they might have won a championship.
Oh, right. No question. Well, LeBron didn't make the playoffs his first 2 years.
Right.
That's why, there's a honeymoon period with younger players, as there should be.
Right, because when you get drafted in that position, you're getting drafted there for a reason, because the team was terrible.
Right. And speaking of honeymoon period, Karl Anthony Towns is about at the end of his honeymoon period. Like, he's been viewed as one of the better players in the league, as, one of the best big men in the league.
So is somebody knocking at the door saying it's time to check out, that you guys need to get out of bed?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't get his team into the playoffs, and we said it, we don't expect it in the West, then what's going to happen is people are going to stop thinking he's as good as his numbers suggest. That's just how it goes.
Or as we always say, where are you getting those numbers from, and who against? Have you played in a big game? Like, all that stuff to me factors in. And some people could poo-poo and say, well, 22 and whatever is 22 and whatever, but it does matter sometimes. Just like you want to see people playing in big games. Like, there are guys who can play, and then they get into a big game, and all of a sudden they disappear.
I mean, I do think Karl Anthony Towns is legit.
I'm not saying
but you're right. I mean, Kevin Love, he put up monster
numbers in Minnesota.
Right, but never got him to the playoffs. Right. And, he did get his championship in Cleveland, but in that series, I think he averaged 9 points in those finals. So it's going to be interesting, but you just hope, back to Zion, that this is not an issue with him. So I'm sure, look, New Orleans has a great front office. David Griffin knows what he's doing. I'm sure they'll be on Zion to, get that weight down, get that baby fat off. Some of it will come off naturally. But he's like Larry Johnson with the explosion of Vince Carter. And think about that type of torque and that type of explosion with that type of weight.
You think he'll think about toning it down a little bit just because, or he's just wired that way? That's what I'm saying. He's probably wired to play that way. But I wonder if they say, like, dude, you don't have to dunk all the time.
Well,
I mean,
you
know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
Like, you can lay the ball up off the glass. You don't have to go up and make some power dunk every single time. And I know it's hard to tell people that, but sometimes it does make a difference.
Well, you bring up wired that way. Beyond being wired that way, he can pass the ball, he can handle the ball, but because he doesn't shoot it particularly well, he doesn't have the skill set not to play the way he plays.
No, I got it.
Not at this point.
I know what you're saying.
And you're right. He doesn't have to dunk over everybody, but his game is getting to the paint, whether he lays it up around somebody or over somebody or dunking it. But that's his game.
I'm going to say this. We saw the greatest player ever change his game, and that was Michael Jordan.
You mean the second time around with the post?
But I'm just saying,
back to the basket.
From the idea of dunking, going up against the Pistons, going up against the Knicks, taking a beating, and then he became this great jump shooter, right? Yep. That wasn't his right.
Right. That's a good point.
So he did make an adjustment because they said, you keep going in the paint against those guys. The rules were different.
Right.
You ain't going to have a long career because you get hammered.
No doubt.
Guys used to get hammered.
No doubt. Especially Jordan. Especially against the Pistons. It was criminal what they were doing.
Almost, right.
But no, and I think over time that just comes.
I don't mean overnight.
Yeah,
I think
with Zion that'll come. I think over time as you get a little older, even if you're still explosive, you know you're losing a little. You know how your body feels. You feel the pain, the bumps and bruises, the nicks and things like that. So I do think he'll make that adjustment over time, but I don't think he's capable just yet.
No. I think it's too early. He's a baby.
Right. Let's throw it out to the callers. I mean, are you concerned? This is, as Rob and I said, the third knee injury in 8 or 9 months for Zion Williamson. Are you concerned that he may have trouble staying healthy?
Hey, guys. First off, just want to say, huge fan, have been for years since you were with the mothership.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, no doubt.
So, as for Zion, if he can't add some things to his game like a jumper, which I think he can, he might be in danger. But he is a superstar, and the minute he's healthy, people are going to be tuning in again. The thing is, this guy's got a love for the game. You saw that in college, and he attempted threes and jumpers in college. If he can adapt that to his game in the NBA, he doesn't have to shoot threes consistently, but if he can get up jumpers and try to refrain from always going to the hole, I think that'll prolong his career.
I agree with you. And I think that, like Chris, you said, will come in time. Right. It ain't going to happen overnight. He's been playing a certain way, so that ain't going to happen. But as you mature, you realize you could do that. What about Joe in Virginia? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. I'd just like to say I don't think there's a reason for concern. If you look at some of the past rookies that it's happened to, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons,
right?
They panned out. I haven't heard it.
We're
losing. You got a bad cell. Sorry, Joe.
Let's go to Eric in Kalamazoo. Eric, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Man, what's going on, fellas? Chris and Rob.
How you?
Hey, Chris. Hey, Rob, let Greg Jennings know I'm down here in Kalamazoo, and I do see Minnesota sitting there. But about Zion, when you go through Duke University, Olympic coach Krzyzewski, that know Carmelo's game, he put miles on you like Kyrie Irving had eight games, and then he went pro. When you come from good stock and that infamous shoe incident, they got to be a little careful because they got the phenomena. He going to be okay. You know what I mean? LeBron went through this already. They want you to doubt yourself. He knows his game. Hey, Kawhi Leonard showed you got to conserve it. Tim Duncan showed him when they were together. He who stands at the end wins.
All right.
No doubt.
Thank you, Eric.
You got to be available.
That.
We already get that.
Let's go to Charles in Cincinnati. Charles, you're on with Chris and Rob.
In the Natty.
That's right. Charles?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going, Rob, Chris?
We are
doing
great.
How are you?
Doing great. Sorry about my Cincinnati Bengals, but I'm
doing
okay.
Man, they're
you smell that? That's
horrible.
The Bengals.
Oh my gosh, they're bad. Bad.
Yeah,
you dreaming of Marvin Lewis coming back, right?
I love Marvin Lewis. Hey, better than this young coach who, I don't know, this Sean McVay reject, I guess. I don't know.
All right, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Zion?
My thoughts on Zion, I'm not really worried about his game. I'm kind of really worried about his walk. He has this weird wobble walk like a South Park character, and it looks like he's trying to take pressure off his knees and his waist. Because, like, I played ball for, like, a long time, a lot of years, and he kind of walked like me after I sit down for more than 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, well,
I'm not. He's got a different kind of walk, but I don't know that it's a problem. I'm not going to go that
far.
We're
We're not doctors. We're not doing all that. The biggest thing is still, hopefully this will pass.
Right.
He'll get back and he'll play, and then tone it down a little bit as you get older. He's a baby. You're indestructible, Chris, at this age. You think you can do everything. Am I right?
Right.
So there's a part of that. So Joseph in California, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, Rob and Chris? Huge fans. You guys are absolute studs. Watch the show all the time.
Thank you,
man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, this Zion stuff, man, it's such a red flag because, you got, Joel Embiid, still not losing the weight. He's got a messed up knee. And you got to lose the weight, man. I remember I was a Giants fan, and Pablo Sandoval, he could never lose the weight, and he never lived up to his potential. He always had injuries and stuff. So this kid has a chance to be something really special. I think he should really focus on losing the weight, getting his body right so those knees don't get old too quick.
No, good point, and I think he can do it because he is young enough, and look at the situation that he's in. Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate it.
Yep, I do think he'll lose the weight as well, Rob. But yeah, it's they got to get on him about it. And this is the professional basketball now, and that's part of what you got to do as your job. Rob, what do you have to say about these Jets?
I don't even know what's going on.
I'm not even throwing shade.
It's just it's embarrassing. Darnold is ready. The game is in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 31 seconds to go. He's 2 for 6. So he's completed 2 passes. The other 2 have been interceptions by the Patriots. So he's thrown 6 passes, 2 to his team, 2 to the Patriots, and then 2 incomplete. It can't be any worse than that.
He's
seriously.
2 for 6 with 6. Now he's 3 for 7 with 11 yards.
Right?
11 yards.
And he coughed up the football. He has 2 picks and a fumble. Right? So he's turned over the ball 3 times?
Well, I like Darnold, but this is
terrible.
This is bad. Granted, the Patriots defense is legit, Rob. And we've talked about this. We've mentioned it a little bit here and there. And it's worth going back to. I still think the Chiefs are the only real threat to New England in the AFC.
I just don't know that.
They may not
when you
be
say,
anymore,
and they
but
might,
if it's not them, who?
And not only that, Chris, along with Mahomes, their defense is just not good enough.
It's not. It's not.
We can sit here and say, based off of last year, the defense is worse than it was a year ago.
But my point is, do you see anybody else in the AFC?
Well, I'm not going to. I don't want to.
Anything can happen.
But I don't want to poo-poo Houston because they lost the 1 game. They did go to Kansas City and win a big game. So I don't want to because had they won, you wouldn't be discounting them, right? Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but they didn't win.
No, I get it. But I don't want to take 1 game and act like they're
4-3.
I know, and act like they're out of it though. No, I got it. But know how it is. You could just get well at the end of the year and play well.
Let's go to Raphael in South Carolina. You're on with the Odd Couple.
Hey, what's going on, Rob and Chris?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, good to hear you guys. I'm an ESPN guy, so it's really good to hear you guys on Fox. But
you got to start. You got to move over to FS1.
That's right.
I got you. Hey, but I want to talk about Zion. He's from South Carolina, and a lot of guys that I work with have watched him grow up and watch him play. And we got into an argument today, and I was telling him I think Zion's going to be fine, but I do think he needs to lose around 15. Maybe 20, 25 pounds to really show his athleticism. I know he's dunking on everybody, but to be able to move for 82 games the way the guys play in the NBA, what do you guys think about that?
I think you're right.
And don't forget, the difference between college, 30 games, and What is it, 30 or 35 games? 35.
Yeah-ish.
Right.
Depending on how far you go. But
Depending on that compared to 82, it's a big
it's
difference.
huge.
It's real talk.
And it's obviously each game is more intense.
Let's go to Steve in Virginia Beach. We can squeeze him in, too. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys. I can't remember which one of you said it, but, it hit a nerve with me, and it was fascinating, and I don't think you understand really how right you are. Which one of you said when you're young, you try different things, different moves, and as you get older, you mature?
That's
we both kind of agreed.
Yeah, we agreed on that. That's what happened.
Like Jordan adjusted, you mature your game.
Listen, but not only that, it goes deeper than that. The type of moves you make. Remember Marshall Faulk when he was in college? Remember those games.
Right.
I've never seen anything like it. Now, when he got to the pros, you could see a few remnants of that, but he wasn't doing everything. He wasn't changing direction so many times, And I think this kid thinks the competition he's getting to know it. And as he does, he'll play more. I hate that phrase, play more within yourself. But you don't try those incredible dexterous moves with your knees and stretching. You kind of tone it down, but you get to know your game.
Look at Blake Griffin.
Right.
He was dunking on everything that
not anymore
earlier in his career, and he
got over it.
And I'm gonna be honest. I want Zion to come out with abandon. That's
doubt.
what everybody's drawn
Reckless
to.
abandon, right? I'm not saying he should be a conservative 20. How old is he? 21, 20? 20?
Probably 19 or 20.
20 or something like that. The oldest. So you're not going to come out, Chris, and be some little conservative guy. And
right.
I'm only going to lay the ball up. I don't expect that either. But you'll pick your spots.
No doubt. Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob. And we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio. And now you can watch us as well. And it's fun.